In this video, we're going to look at a one-tailed F-test of two population variances. Suppose we have a public opinion survey about political attitudes on current attitude on current political issues. So we have a population of women voters and population of men voters, and we want to test whether the variance in attitude towards current political issues, is more among the women population compared to the men population. So men think more alike, whereas there is more variability among women. That's what we want to test. So we have to set up the hypothesis in this fashion. Null hypothesis is it's less than or equal to men, but the alternative is the variance for the women is greater than men, and we have samples of 31 men and 41 women, and the variances are given. Variance of 120 for women and variance of 80 for men, and based on that we want to conduct the test. So first the populations and the variances. Okay, let's define those first. Okay, so the variances for men and women, and this is the hypothesis we want to test, and the alpha value is 5%. Okay. Now the samples and the sample variances are given. Okay. So the F statistic is S sub 1 squared over S sub 2 squared. Once again, conveniently, the first sample variance is larger than the second. This is if you're using the F table from the textbook, then it is important that the numerator is larger than the denominator, so you need to make sure that it is properly done, but in Excel that doesn't matter. So the numerator sample size minus 1, the denominator sample size minus 1 are the 2 degrees of freedoms. And now using the F table, so this is a one-tailed test, and this is on the right side. So if it is on the left side, we will use F dot INV, but since it is on the right side, we'll use F dot INV dot RT, and we will not divide by 2. So this is a one-tailed test, so it is alpha and the 2 degrees of freedoms will give us the F table value. And if the F calculated value is greater than the F table value, which in this case is not, therefore we cannot reject. So we do not reject. Null hypothesis is the conclusion. Okay. Now let's do the same hypothesis using the p-value approach. This is the F table approach. This is p-value approach, and upper tail value is F dot dist dot RT. If it was a lower tail value, then we would use F dot dist, in which case we have to use comma 1 at the end for cumulative probability. So here we use the F statistic and the 2 degrees of freedoms. And since this is a one-tailed test, we don't have to multiply by 2, and the p-value is the tail area. Okay. And since this is greater than alpha, we cannot reject. So we do not have sufficient evidence to conclude that the variance in political attitude towards the current political events among the women are larger than men. We cannot do that. If we concluded that it was so, then the probability that our conclusion is wrong is going to be 12.56%.